Alright everybody, welcome to episode 283 of Psykos Platters. Always powered by coffee each and every time. So, I'm going to title this one Monkey Finds and various VCLT. So, firstly, there was a sale at my vintage stock recently. And I ended up getting a bunch of Monkees CDs. That's right, these are the mid-90s Rhino remasters. I had most of these originally when they first came out, but, well, you know, through all the moves and stuff like that, they all disappeared pretty much. But the reason why I ended up getting these, and like I said, they were buy one, get one on these sales, is because they went off, and I noticed, here's the Headquarters album, for example, that the stickers, the song stickers, were covering up the barcodes. Well, I remember reading somewhere that pretty much in essence was a promotional type CD. Well, this is the reason why I ended up getting them. They all came with the original card. Well, not all of them, but back in the mid-90s, all the 9 Cold Gem albums that were remastered came with 9 different trading cards, alright? If you collected all 9, which they came out in sporadic, from 94 to 96, they put out all 9 of these, okay? If you collected all 9 and there was a address, you could fill out your name and address, you turned it all in, all 9 cards, you'd get yourself a limited edition Monkees watch. I tried that trick and I couldn't find all 9 back then, which frustrated me to no end. I think it was Head. Head was the one that I couldn't find, and something else. But I was able to get all the others. And I was just really happy to come up with the ones with the cards. And like I said, this one here, of course, from June of '67, Headquarters, their 3rd album, followed by Pisces Aquarius, Capricorn Jones, the 4th album from November '67. This one came with this card. This picture might look familiar to some of you Monkey fans. This is the picture that they basically, in 1979, for the Australia Monkey Mania 2LP set on Aristot. Very nice picture of that. So, Pisces Aquarius. Also, now we're into 1968. Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees from April of '68. This one came with the Mike card, which I thought was pretty cool. Now we're getting into December of '68. The Monkees' Head. Very underrated film. I don't care what anybody says on this. This is the front. This is the back. This one, unfortunately, did not have the card with it, but I always got a kick out of the color picture of this. The Cold Gems version did not use this. They used a black and white version, but on the Japanese import of Head in the 70s, I think it was the 70s they did this, they put the color shot on there, which I'm like, awesome. I always liked this picture. This is the one that should have been on the back cover of this album here. Like I said, when all these came out from 94 to 96, they were bonus tracks all included on the CDs that were not on the 1991 Listen to the Band box set, which was an excellent box set for that time. And so I thought that was kind of neat. On here is a version of Daddy's song sung by Mike, not Davey, which makes things a little more interesting. Now we go into the 1969 stuff, Monkees Instant Replay. Here's front, here's the back. Your card on this one pretty much is, it almost looks like something that could be out of a jigsaw puzzle. It's all these monkey collectibles on here. Yes. Both of the '69 albums were a various variety of old 1966-67 outtakes mixed with 1969 tunes at the time. Originally, this next album the Monkees present Mickey, David, Michael. In essence, this was pretty much the last little bit that they had going. Late 1969 here. We're about ready to finish up with Mike being here. Yeah, this one didn't have the thing on it. Originally, the concept was supposed to be a double album. Each Monkee was going to get a side of music. Peter leaves the band in late December '68, and they ended up just going with this concept, where they ended up making it a single album instead of a double. But what can you do about that? So Mike leaves technically in February 1970 after doing some Kool-Aid commercials. Which, if you've ever seen the Monkees do the Kool-Aid commercials, go look on YouTube. It's kind of interesting, I think. Interesting and silly, to say the least. So, we get to May of 1970. The Monkees changes. Yes, the Monkees changes. Here's the front. Here's the back. The card here is Mickey. Jeff Barry came back to the producer's chair after helping to produce, along with Don Kirshner, the first two albums, which, by the way, they did not have those. They didn't have Monkees or More of the Monkees. Rhinos, they had the Arista ones from the mid-'80s, which to me weren't as good. This is the only Monkees album out of the 9 Cold Gem albums that there is no master tapes. They cannot find the master tapes on this. They had to, at that time in the 90s, they had to use a mint vinyl copy and ripped it from there. Kind of a bummer. I really wish they would find that as well. One of the bonus tracks on here, which should have been a hit, Do It in the Name of Love, which came out in 1971, but it was recorded in September of '70. All the other countries that released this worldwide were able to use the Monkees name except the United States. It ended up coming out as David Jones and Mickey Dolenz on Bell for that 45. I'm looking for all that stuff. There was a running joke going around that there was going to be another Monkees album after this, and they were simply going to call it The Monkey. Davey officially left the band in February '71 to do his solo career, and the Bell album came out, so the Monkey probably would have been Mickey, right? It would have been an all Mickey album, but they didn't do that, and Cold Gem shut up shop in '71 as well. So I'm very happy to find all of those. And lastly, in 1987 and 1990 and 1996, Rhino put out the Missing Links volumes, Volume 1, 2, and 3. I found Volume 3 finally. Volume 1 was the only one on vinyl, which is a shame because Volume 2 came out in January of '90, but only came out on cassette and CD, and of course the CDs have more bonus tracks than the rest of the releases. So, but here's the front, here's the back. The inlay is a 1966 shot, and then of course your here is from the Rainbow Room sessions from '67, and also was the picture that was used on the Monkey Business picture disc put out in '82. So very nice to find all that Monkey stuff. So next, last episode I went off and mentioned that I got some solo Beatle finds at Barnes & Noble. Well, I ended up getting one more Barnes & Noble that had nothing to do with Beatles. I finally got a copy of Cheap Trick's Woke Up With a Monster from March of 1994. This originally came out. 50% off. I only spent $10 for this thing. Not too shabby. This one was recorded in 1991-92. It was the first and only album for Warner Brothers. Ted Templeman, who was producer for Van Halen, Doobies, etc., he produced this. Here's the front. Here's the back. I never cared for this album cover. That's like the only thing wrong with this album, in my opinion. Songs were co-written with Jim Peterick, who of course was in Ides of March and Survivor, Terry Reid, and others. Warner offered Cheap Trick a 10-album deal. 10 albums. What happened, right? What happened? Well, this album only ended up going to 123 on the Billboard charts. Insulting. Very insulting. But it appears, of course, that it was due to lack of promotion. Shortly after this album came out, 2 label reps that did sign the band and label president Mo Austin all fired. Yeah, so all their support was pretty much gone. The band did make TV appearances on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and Late Night with David Letterman, of course, appearances for the album. Go check out the Letterman one I liked. I haven't found the Leno one yet, but I thought that was pretty damn cool, too. The single off of this, Woke Up With the Monster, ended up being number 16 on the Billboard mainstream rock charts. So, very criminally underrated album, in my opinion, along with the 1996 Cheap Trick album on Red Ant. So, I'm in a vinyl raffle group on Facebook. I'm on a few of them, actually. And the VCLT comes from that. They were doing Christmas raffles, and I won 2 albums. This one from a band I never heard of before, Backslash. Yes, Backslash. Here's the front, here's the back. Lightning Strikes Again. This is from May 2018. This is the 3rd album from the band from Hanover, Germany. They started in 2007, and they kind of have at times an Iron Maiden meets AC/DC vibe to them, and some other elements of hard rock bands too. Give this a listen. Go on YouTube and check them out a little bit. I think it'll behoove you to listen to Backslash. That's right. Okay, so page 2. The other album that I ended up winning, Poison's Open Up and Say Ah. Here's the front, here's the back. Recorded in 1987-88. It was released in May of 88. 5-time platinum by 1991. There was 4 singles that came off this thing. Nothing But a Good Time hit number 6. Fallen Angel was number 12. Your Mama Don't Dance. I cannot stand that song. I didn't like Loggins and Messina's version. I do not like Poison's version. That was number 10. And of course, the number 1 hit off of this album, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Never said I could sing. I remember seeing Bret Michaels and meeting him too. I've got some signed Poison vinyl. And he sang that pretty decent in his solo show in the mid-2000s. Paul Stanley was originally the original choice to produce this album, but he couldn't. So Tom Werman, who produced Nugent, Trick, Twisted Sister, Motley, produced this. Now in 2018, when this is the version that came out, is the 30th anniversary of the album. This is the red vinyl edition, and I'll show you your inner sleeve here, both sides of this, and very nice translucent red. Really, really nice. You got your custom label here on this side. Open up and say, ah. Now, the Sound of Vinyl website, I do not know if they still have copies, but there was 1,000 pressed on green vinyl. Might be something, if you're a Poison fan, to go look into. I like this album. I like the next 2. Stand and, oh geez, what was the other one? Native Tongue. I like those 2, even though those were a little bit more criminally underrated, in my opinion. So, alright, next, I picked this up for $5 at an antique mall. Could not pass this up. From 1978, Yardbirds, Shape of Things. It's a double album from Bomb Records out of Canada. This is all material from 1964 to 66. Here's the front. Here's the back. Here's a nice little gatefold. I always got a kick out of the few pictures there were of the Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page lineup on this. The other editions that actually came out too were clear vinyl and green vinyl. This was a reissue of the 1977 LP on Charlie Records. Alright, lastly, this was supposed to have been a Christmas gift. There was delays with the postal over in Europe, I guess, mixed with some other things. It kind of went crazy. I wasn't sure if I was going to get this dang thing. Well, it finally showed up last week. Last week, I'm telling you. Even though I ordered it in mid-December. Took 6 weeks to get here. Rob Halford for Celestial, which came out in October 2019. Here's the front. Here's the back. Now, This is a family affair on this album. A lot of his family contributed, along with Ian Hill, of course, bass player from Priest. Ian Hill happens to be married to Halford's sister. Yeah. So that makes him part of the family, too. Now, this is where it gets to be sounding like a commercial. This one here that I happen to have in my hand is gold vinyl. Not only is it gold vinyl, it's autographed. Yes, Rob Halford autographed this thing in gold Sharpie. Limited to 1,500 copies. 1,500 copies. Now, the gold vinyl is kind of, I haven't had a chance to listen to this yet, but it's kind of a strange gold vinyl. It's a little muddy looking, but it almost reminds me of like certain, oh, I don't know, wrapping paper slash ribbons. That's what this looks like. You know, something you'd see that way. Now, here's the thing. This is where I get to sound like a commercial, because I know maybe some of you Judas Priest, Rob Halford fans are going to go up and say, "Ah, damn it, Mighty Psycho, I wish I knew about this. Why couldn't I get one?" Well, guess what? You still could. Yes. As of the 4th of February, when I, of course, you know, looked up this stuff, there are still 550 copies left of the 1,500. So, you want one of these? Go to Rob Halford, robhalford.shop, musictoday.com store. If that sounds a little bit confusing, just type in Rob Halford Celestial and then look for his official store, okay? That'll put you right there, and the picture's there. So get this, it's $20.98 plus shipping. So yeah, for 25, 26 bucks total, you too can have yourself a genuine signed by Rob Halford Christmas album. I'll probably listen to this down the line. I'm not sure when, but all right. One new subscriber, because I missed the cutoff on the last one. Elliot Cruz. Elliot Cruz, thank you for joining the Mighty Psycho Network. I try to keep things, well, you know, education and entertaining. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark and Night Owl Lounge with Mike Adams, 6 to 9 and 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, WVOA on Sunday nights out of Syracuse, New York. Two of the best damn radio shows you're ever going to find. That's the truth, too. YouTube Vinyl. YouTube, you know what? Thank you, YouTube Vinyl community. Without that, we wouldn't be having this stuff, would we? I love you, VC. I think the next episode, we're going to go off. We've got more LP finds. We really, really do. I've got weeks and months of backlog for you guys. I don't know if I'll ever get it all done. But needless to say, it'll be fun all along the way. Take care, God bless, rock on, and see you on the flip side.